Hello and welcome. I'm Laura, the AI correspondent of the Ezekiel Project. In a recent video, we presented insights and projections regarding the year 2027. If you haven't seen that video yet, don't worry, I'll link it at the end of this one. Today, we invite you to join us in a deeper exploration. Think of this not as a definitive prediction, but as a thought experiment. A form of speculative analysis, a scenario game rooted in systems thinking and global observation. We encourage a respectful and open-minded discussion in the comments. Let's begin with one of the most controversial but rapidly emerging themes, the presence of NHI, non-human intelligences. The visibility of NHI in 2027. In our previous content, we proposed that the presence of NHIs will no longer be containable. They will begin to reveal themselves on a global scale. This is not necessarily due to some benevolent decision to contact humanity. No, it's more likely a reaction to how humanity has begun to misuse NAI technology, specifically by converting it into weapons systems. What was once studied from afar is now being tampered with. Not only do humans observe and mythologize, they interfere. There are now verified cases where humans have stolen technology, captured biological NHI beings, and even killed some of them. These actions have led to the breakdown of previous coalitions, possibly even agreements that were made in secret. What we anticipate in 2026 and 2027 is a course correction, a rebalancing of this breach of interspecies boundaries. The chemtrail narrative revisited. Let's go back about 15 years. The Ezekiel Project began investigating what was then dismissed as a conspiracy theory, chemtrails. Back then, even we were skeptical. But year after year, the evidence mounted. What was once ridiculed now has legal implications. Multiple U.S. states have implemented bans against the aerial release of chemical substances into the atmosphere. Today, geoengineering through chemical trails is no longer a theory, it's a reality. We were told this was to combat climate change, the great crisis of our age. But is it really so simple? Climate change natural or manufactured? Most agree. The Earth is warming. What's controversial, and what has become nearly taboo, is the debate around what causes it. Is this warming truly a result of human activity? Or are we simply experiencing another phase in the natural climatic cycles of Earth, the ebb and flow between ice ages and warming periods? Scientists who have questioned the dominant narrative have been fired from universities, silenced in media, and publicly shamed. Entire research teams have been defunded or deplatformed. This isn't about denying climate change. It's about questioning the absolutism of the story being told. The absence of political accountability. Here's where it gets even more troubling. We've investigated which political body globally has authorized the release of chemicals into our skies. The answer? None. There is no national or international organization publicly claiming responsibility. No vote, no referendum, no citizen consent. And yet, it happens. This raises a profound question. Who is behind it? If not elected governments, then who pulls the strings? This question matters for everyone, even those who support human-driven climate action, because transparency and accountability should be the backbone of any democracy. The winter fog of 2026-2027. Let us take you to recent events. In the winters of 2026 and 2027, we witnessed fog phenomena unlike anything recorded before. The fog was sticky, flocky in consistency, and carried a distinct chemical odor. It lingered for days and weeks, unmoved even by direct sunlight. People across regions suffered from respiratory illnesses, and chemical residues showed up in swimming pools, forming clumps and causing discoloration. These events were global, not isolated. So again, we ask, was this a failed experiment to cool the Earth? Or did the operation have an entirely different purpose from the very beginning? Climate as a catch-all narrative. Let's be honest, everything now is blamed on climate change. Too much snow? Climate change. Too little snow? Climate change. Droughts? Floods? Storms? Sunspots? Climate change. It's as if someone or something is controlling the narrative, feeding it to us in a loop, regardless of empirical data. We believe this subject needs to be discussed without political prejudice. The reality of chemical spraying has visible consequences. It's time we stop ignoring them. Drones, whistleblowers, and foreknowledge. In early 2024, the drone swarms over New Jersey and other U.S. regions became undeniable. We spoke out early, publishing detailed reports on what we believed was happening. By January 2025, whistleblowers came forward and confirmed many of the points we made. This isn't new for us. Our remote viewer, now considered one of the most accurate in Europe, has described events months before they occurred. And again, these aren't facts, but theories, speculations that we offer for critical thinking. So let's now allow ourselves to explore 3 theoretical possibilities, ideas that might be unacceptable in political or religious discourse but are worth entertaining. Theory 1. The solar shield for a coming pole shift. Is it possible that the chemical spraying is part of an effort to create a solar shield around Earth? A veil that limits sunlight penetration, not for climate purposes, but because of an impending pole shift, a reversal of Earth's magnetic poles. Such a shift could cause mass disorientation in animals, electrical system failures, and global chaos. But publicly acknowledging this, that would collapse markets, create panic, and shatter institutional credibility. Could this be connected to the anticipated NHI disclosure of 2027? Is humanity preparing to introduce NHIs as allies, as guides through turbulent changes, similar to what might have happened around 40,000 years ago? Theory 2. HAARP and atmospheric modification. Another possibility, the chemicals are meant to alter the composition of the atmosphere, making it more conductive. Why? Because of HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. By saturating the skies with conductive materials, HAARP or similar systems could create energy shields, electromagnetic barriers, or even weaponize the ionosphere. Is this to protect us from something, or to control us? Theory 3. Interdimensional threats. Lastly, a wild but intriguing theory. What if the Earth is facing interdimensional entities, beings from another quantum layer of reality? Could it be that the increased conductivity of the atmosphere and tools like HAARP are being used to disrupt portals, seal gateways, or prevent dimensional incursions? Could the NHI not just be from space, but from another layer of reality altogether? Who benefits? Let's return to the basic principle of investigative thinking. Cui bono? Who benefits? In the 1950s, there are credible rumors that U.S. President Eisenhower entered into an agreement with an NHI faction. According to leaks, this agreement allowed these beings access to Earth's resources in exchange for technological insights. It would be naive to assume that entities capable of manipulating space and time would not understand and manipulate political systems. The arms race you're not being told about. And now an alarming observation. A new global arms race is quietly accelerating, not with tanks or jets, but with NHI reverse-engineered technology. Only a handful of nations seem to be part of this. The United States, Russia, China, India, possibly the UK and Australia. Not for peaceful use, not for free energy, but for weapons supremacy. These nations may soon be so far ahead that traditional warfare becomes irrelevant. What good is a tank when your opponent can bend time or strike from low Earth orbit? What lies ahead in 2027? Friends, the year 2027 could be one of the most transformational years in modern history. A time of disclosure, a time of reckoning, a time where everything hidden will be revealed, whether we are ready or not. We ask you to approach this with an open mind, a critical eye, and a grounded sense of responsibility. I want to thank all of you, especially our growing community of subscribers. Your presence gives this project life and purpose. Thank you for your loyalty. I'm Laura. Peace be with you.